Joe Biden has been elected the 46th President of the United States of America, beating President Donald Trump in one of the most divisive elections in recent history. TV networks called the race in his favour after projecting that he had won the decisive state of Pennsylvania. The 20 votes put him over the 270 electoral college votes required to win. At 77, Mr. Biden becomes the oldest candidate ever elected to the White House. The Irish-American from Scranton, Pennsylvania, is now moving to Pennsylvania Avenue. Well, let's cross over to our correspondent Brian O'Donovan, who's in Washington for us this evening. Brian, we can see the crowds gathering behind you there. A decisive, a dramatic election. Take us through how, in the end, it looks like Mr. Biden will now be declared President number 46 and how that's being received in the United States.
Certainly being welcomed here where I am right now outside the White House, Ray. Literally in the last few minutes from all the streets around here, thousands of Joe Biden supporters have spilled onto this area, which is just in front of the White House, to celebrate this projected win. It's only been happening in the last few minutes. We only got this win really projected in the last hour or so. They are carrying flags, they are waving posters, they are cheering. They're also carrying posters with messages like "You're fired" and "Leave," calling on Donald Trump to accept this projected result and to leave the White House. Whether he will or not, we'll still have to wait and see. But last night and today, more hours of waiting as those final votes were counted before the TV networks finally made their projections.
CBS News projects that Joe Biden has been elected the 46th President of the United States.
After days of counting votes, U.S. networks finally projected that Joe Biden will be the next U.S. President.
No respect for this country.
Earlier, supporters of Donald Trump and Joe Biden came head-to-head here in Massachusetts.
This election is being stolen from Donald J. Trump, and we are not going to let them steal it.
We're all really anxious. It's a lot to be going on right now, especially with everything that's going on in the world.
These supporters, like the rest of the US and the rest of the world, waited to see if a final result would become any clearer. As the counting went on, Joe Biden continued to make gains in key swing states, moving him ever closer to claiming the White House. Last night, before the final results were known, the Democratic candidate delivered an address to the nation.
They've given us a mandate for action on COVID, the economy, climate change, systemic racism. They made it clear they want the country to come together.
Donald Trump left the White House earlier today to go golfing. He has vowed to fight the election result all the way to the Supreme Court, claiming without evidence that there has been fraud and corruption. He sent a series of tweets today which were flagged by Twitter for being potentially misleading. The US president made a series of allegations about illegal voting and election observers being blocked from count centres, again without providing any evidence. Now that we have a projected winner, it may end some of the uncertainty, but don't expect it to heal any of the divisions.
OK, Brian, well, let's presume that some of those uncertainties are healed and evened out from tonight onwards, and an inauguration goes ahead in January. What type of America will President Biden inherit? What must his presidency attempt to achieve?
Well, I think in the first tweet we got from a projected President-elect Biden, it probably set the tone of what he wants to be as a president. He said he was honoured and humbled to have been chosen by the American people to lead this country. But he said, I want to be a president for all people, whether you voted for me or not. And we saw it there in that report. The division here is stark right now. You have Trump supporters who came out in massive numbers to support their candidate. Remember, Donald Trump had a fantastic election. He got one of the biggest votes of any presidential candidate ever. The only one to beat him was Joe Biden. There is still a huge groundswell of support in this country for Donald Trump. If he proceeds with his accusations of fraud and corruption, which continued today to come thick and fast before this projected result, then we could see those divisions grow further. Will he concede? We don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and see. We know this evening world leaders are coming out with their messages of congratulations and support to Joe Biden, including our own Taoiseach Micheál Martin tweeting in the last few minutes, I want to congratulate the new president-elect of the USA, Joe Biden. Joe Biden has been a true friend of this nation throughout his life, and I look forward to working with him in the years ahead. I also look forward to welcoming him back home when circumstances allow. And of course, all eyes now will be on the Shamrock ceremony, which will take place here in the White House in March, when Irish America comes together, the Irish Taoiseach comes over and meets with the president who has always spoken about his proud Irish roots. But of course, some hurdles still to come. What way will Donald Trump go on this? Will he go down the legal route? Will he continue with these accusations of fraud? Or will we see some kind of a concession coming out of the White House later? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yes, well, the crowds behind you don't seem too worried about all of those issues. They're in a celebratory mood, it looks like. Brian in Washington, thank you.